I would like to call to order the April 26, 2017 school committee meeting. The time now is 6:32 p.m. We will be entering into executive session to continue discussion relative to strategy with respect to collective bargaining and/or litigation. The school committee will reconvene in open session at 7 p.m. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to go into executive session.
I'll second.
So I have a motion, I have a second to enter into executive session. This does require a roll call vote. Mr. Sullivan, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Francis?
Aye.
Mrs. Bennett?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. So at this time, we'll be entering into executive session and we'll be joining everybody for our regularly scheduled school committee meeting at 7 p.m. Thank you. Good evening. I would like to call to order the April 26, 2017 school committee meeting. The time now is 7:04 p.m. The April 26, 2017 school committee meeting will be televised and recorded. Under the open meeting law, the public is permitted to make an audio or video recording of an open session at a public meeting. At this time, I'd like to ask if anyone is recording tonight's meeting to please identify himself or herself. We have no meeting here yet. Hopefully they will show up so they can give a lot of great PR to all these wonderful people here tonight. Okay, so at this time, I would like to ask everyone to stand for our Pledge of Allegiance, and I'd like to ask all our honored guests this evening to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to turn it over to our superintendent, Mr. Malone, for our recognition for this evening.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We certainly do have a busy evening tonight with recognition, which is a great opportunity for us as a school to celebrate all the great things happening in Tewksbury. Our first recognition this evening is for two Tewksbury Memorial High School students. At this time, I'd like to have Sarah Canzano and Nicholas Zullo please come on up, and maybe if Ms. Vogel can join you up here. We're very privileged to have both students here as recipients of the White House Commission on Presidential Scholars of the United States Department of Education. This is an award recognizing exceptional scholarship and talent in the visual and creative and performing arts. And 2015 was also designed to recognize, in addition to that, the ability and accomplishments in career and technical fields. These two great students have put forth some great efforts and submitted essays as part of the application process and had their transcripts submitted. And it's a great honor for them to both receive this award, and I'd like Ms. Vogel to talk maybe a little bit more about it.
Sure. So it was really, really exciting to have two students from a school to be selected to be state qualifiers to go to the national level. So that's really exceptional. Both of these kids are extremely exceptional. They have not made it, did not make it to the semifinal stage of the national, but we're still very proud of how far they made it. Nick will be attending Stonehill College, and Sarah will be attending Trinity College next year.
Nick, on behalf of the Tewksbury School Committee, I'm honored to present this resolution to you tonight. Whereas Nicholas Zullo is an exemplary senior student athlete at Tewksbury Memorial High School, and whereas based on Nicholas, his superior academics, leadership qualities, and involvement in community and school activities, he was a qualifying student for the 2017 Candidates for the U.S. Presidential Scholarships Program, and whereas Nicholas is one of 184 Massachusetts qualifiers for the U.S. Presidential Scholars Program, chosen from the 2017 graduating class at Tewksbury High School, and whereas Nicholas Zullo has brought great pride, recognition, enthusiasm, and honor to himself, his parents, and his family for the Tewksbury Memorial High School and the town of Tewksbury, now therefore be resolved that the Tewksbury School Committee applauds, honors, and recognizes the many achievements of Nicholas Zullo. Congratulations. Not to be outdone I'd like to present this recognition to you as well, whereas Sarah Catanzano is an exemplary senior student athlete at Tewksbury Memorial High School, and whereas based on Sarah's superior academics, leadership qualities, and involvement in community and school activities, she was a qualifying student for the 2017 candidates for the U.S. Presidential Scholarships Award program, and whereas Sarah is one of 184 Massachusetts qualifiers for the U.S. Presidential Scholars Program chosen from the 2017 graduating class at the high school, and whereas Sarah has brought great pride, recognition, enthusiasm, and honor to herself, her parents and family, to the Tewksbury High School and the town of Tewksbury, now therefore be it resolved that the Tewksbury School Committee applauds, honors, and recognizes the many achievements of Sarah Catanzano. Congratulations.
You can just kind of stand over here with Mrs. Vogel for a picture too. Since the newspaper's not here, we'll make sure it's taken care of. Do we want, there are parents here as well, we want to bring up their parents, I know we've been doing that previous, do the parents want to come into the picture? Would be sure that's wonderful. Truly wonderful. If it wasn't for you, they wouldn't be where they are today, so come on up. Yes.
All right, everybody, if you could look right over here. 1, 2, 3. We take 2 just in case. 1, 2, 3. Great.
Also, just like this, parent school committee, both of you are just great examples of what we truly have want everyone to strive to be. You know, you're unbelievable academics, you're unbelievable athletes, you're just role models for everyone here at the high school, even for the kids, believe it or not, coming up at the Wynn School and at the Ryan, they really watch what some of the high school students do, and you're really, truly role models, and we appreciate everything you've done here, and we wish you all the best as you finish up the year. We're going to miss you. Thank you. That's wonderful.
Madam Chair, for our next recognition, we're a great opportunity to honor a terrific staff member at the time. I'd like Ms. Mary Elbinghoff to please come up. And Ms. Vogel, you can join her as well, if you would, please. It's a terrific opportunity for us because we all know about Mary, but now the entire state knows about Mary. Because Mary is the prestigious winner of the Peggy Palissy Lifetime Achievement Award from the Massachusetts School Library Association. Terrific award. It's a great award. We're very proud of Mary and her accomplishments, but I must be honest, it's only recognized as a small portion, I think, of what Mary brings to Tewksbury Public Schools. The highest praise I can give Mary is that every high school needs a Mary. They can't have us. But it's her type of work, both in the library and with our students continuously, certainly that provides the social and emotional support for our kids, for the opportunities outside the classroom, for the motivation, for the shoulder to lean on when needed, and those are big parts of high school life. I'd like Ms. Reading maybe to talk a little bit about Mary as well, because she's had a lot more experience.
Let me go back. Mary, I don't know anyone else who is more deserving of the Librarian of the Year Lifetime Achievement Award. In fact, you have certainly influenced many, if not all, the young lives of Tewksbury students for the past 20 years. I want to go over a brief, just summary of the history of Mary in Tewksbury Public Schools. And I was there 20 years ago when Dr. McGrath introduced you to the Heathbrook PAC at the time as our town-wide elementary school librarian. Mary that night divulged to the entire group of parents that she had just sent, for the very first time, her first email. But she was dedicated and committed to turning our school libraries into full-blown library media centers. So in 1997, you started your career with us. 2 years later, you were opening the new John F. Ryan School Library. You took an empty room, blank walls, empty shelves, because it took some time to fill that library, didn't it, Mary? And you turned it into a thriving library media center. You launched a comprehensive library media center curriculum that included teaching all of us, students and staff, the true meaning of what copyright law meant, citing resources, using the World Wide Web, launching the integration of technology into the classroom experience for all students and staff. We do go way back. We interacted with the Department of Education and Project Meet, just a little thing, but a long time back. You know that you had a brief experience at the Wynn School as a social studies teacher on Team 7C, where you now got to work with our middle school age students. But your crowning moment, I think the acknowledgement of your true calling, was when you walked into the library of the old Tewksbury Memorial High School. You took a once lifeless room in that school, an off-limits library, and transformed it into a student learning commons. You dedicated your time, and I'm really speeding up the timeline here, and planned this student learning commons, this library media center. Anyone that walks in here can see and feel that it's much more than a school library. It's the heart of this new Tewksbury Memorial High School. That wasn't enough. Came to you about 3 years ago and said, Mary, we need you on our NPEN team. And you know what NPEN is. It's a regional, statewide professional development team. We need you to head up the library professional development. Who better to influence other librarians across the state but you? You accepted that challenge graciously, and I thank you. So Mary, you brought the joy of reading to preschool children all the way through grade 12 and then their parents. How many parents have you taught to truly learn how to read and share books with their children? You have touched the lives of many as a librarian, a counselor, a life coach, a technology leader, and a mentor. We are so proud and honored that you have made Tewksbury your second family. And we thank you. To truly honor the day-to-day ways in which you improve the high school learning experience, I'd like to turn it over to Principal Kristen Vogel, and she can highlight just a few of the many things you do right here in this library.
So Mary, I say Mary is the heart and soul of TMHS, right? This is the hub. This is a place where everyone is welcome, and that's because of Mary. You know, it is a library, and there are places where you can be quiet and you can do work, but it's also a place where you can talk. You can talk to Mary, you can talk to other students. It's incredibly welcoming. And this was a new experience for me because I came from a high school with a library where it was off limits, and that was not the culture. So this is so amazing to have a library, and it's really because of Mary that this space is that. Mary is always, she can't say no to anyone, particularly to a student, and she heads up our GSA. She started the Reading Buddies, which is bringing our high school students down to the elementary grades where they're reading to younger students, which is just wonderful. It keeps growing every year. It started last year, and this is the second year, and I feel like it just gets bigger and bigger. She also worked with kids at our anti-bullying club to develop a presentation that Nick did with Lauren Palomino last year for our step-up day for our 8th graders, which was exceptional. And they worked with Mary to make that all happen. So, you know, TMHS wouldn't be, this space wouldn't be what it is for kids and really for faculty if it wasn't for Mary.
I need to say one more thing. I promise, I've timed it. It's way under a minute. Here's the deal. Everything you've heard is true. I did those things. Some of them I'd forgotten, but I did that. But there's another side to that equation. And the other side to that equation are the three constants I've had inside the Tewksbury Public Schools for 20 years. And the first piece of it are the colleagues, some of whom are in this room tonight, that I had the honor of teaching with and working with kindergarten through grade 12. That the faculty that you hire here is amazing. The second constant have been the administrators that I've worked with, and there have been many of them have retired, but over that 20-year period of time, every one of them attempted and made an effort and did hear my voice and then offer the support I needed to do what I needed to do. And perhaps most importantly, the third constant are the parents of Tewksbury. I have trouble saying this. I've been practicing, I still have trouble saying this. They have sent me routinely the best kids on the planet. And when you have that to work with, I truly do not think if I worked in any other town, in any other, had I made any other decision 20 years ago, this me award would not be coming this way. So in fact, the way I see it is this is our award. And on May 7th in Hyannis at conference, I will accept that award on our behalf. Thank you, Dr. Christine Pratt, Dr. Joseph C. Walsh, and Mr. Ed Dickney, rest in peace, chairman of the school committee that hired me and brought me here. It's been a ride. One more year to go.
After all this, I'm going to read it anyway on behalf of the school committee. This is a resolution of recognition. Mary Ellenhoff, known as Mrs. E, is a librarian at the Tewksbury Memorial High School, known to many as Mrs. E. Mrs. Ellenhoff is the Massachusetts School Library Association recipient of the 2017 Peggy Halsey Lifetime Achievement Award. And whereas Mrs. E will receive the Lifetime Achievement Award at a banquet on May 7, 2017. And whereas Mrs. E's contributions to Tewksbury Memorial High School are many, as we've heard. She has created a library that is the heart and soul of TMHS. Mrs. E has created a culture that will leave a lasting legacy for all district students to come. And whereas Mary Eldenhoff has brought great pride, recognition, and honor to herself, to her family, to Tewksbury Memorial High School, and to the town of Tewksbury. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Tewksbury School Committee applauds, honors, and recognizes the exceptional performances of Mrs. E.
Mary, we have small. I'm sorry, it never rains, Mary. So you can't do it. Small talk. Madam Chair, as we continue on with recognitions, a terrific opportunity tonight to certainly honor our senior tax program participants. Those individuals who work in our schools as part of that tax program. Certainly, the ability to have seniors from the community in our building with our students is a terrific asset for us as a community. A particular asset to our students and our staff, whether it be in the classroom, in the hallway, in the libraries. Their evident work, their demeanor that they bring into the building daily, their positive attitude. It's although there is a tax relief program, it's clear to me from witnessing this program on a daily basis that the students of Tewksbury are clearly the winners in this. So So we're very proud of all those individuals who participate in this program. And what we'd like to do is to bring them up kind of in small groups and have the opportunity to give them a small token of our appreciation for all their work they're doing and all that they bring to Tewksbury Public Schools. From the Doing School, Pat Doucette, Rosemary Hooten, Sharon Milborn, Carol Ferry, who also works at the North Street School.
Don't be shy.
From the Heathbrook School, Carol Friedman, Marguerite Hurley, and Dorothy Sampson. From the North Street School, Sue Lamia, Marilyn Mallet. From the Trahan School, David Barletta and Claire McNeil. And from the Ryan Elementary School, Tom McNutt. Once again, Madam Chair, just a great example of the community of Tewksbury, and it's a great connection for our students to make daily to the citizens of Tewksbury and to be able to interact with all of you. And we thank you very much for all you bring to our school district, all the support you give to our students. It's the type of backbone in a community like this that really makes us work hard. So thank you very much for all you do. And Madam Chair, we continue with looking at some of the assets that are in the community that support us in the school district. And certainly, we'd like to talk about the outstanding volunteers that work in our schools daily. These volunteers are ever present in our buildings. They seem to assimilate with our staff almost seamlessly. They're in every aspect of our buildings, whether it be in the main office, in the classroom, in the libraries, in the work they do with our students, and side by side with our teaching staff is immeasurable. And the supports they provide to our students and the ability that they allow us to operate as a school district. Without their support, we certainly could not have the success we're having with the students. So it is certainly a major component of the district and certainly a reflection of the community, and we certainly appreciate all the work they've been doing. And, you know, we have many volunteers. I'm going to highlight some from each school. We'll have them come up just as the last group. But again, there's so many that it's just a great reflection of the community and a great support to all of our students. From the Doing School, Kim DeCaro, Jean Dunn, and Monica Johnson. From the Heathbrook School, Heather Crowley, Bridget Garabedian, and Michael Garabedian. Sue Pantelitis, and Jill Naughton, also representing the Ryan School. Right. From the Trahan School, Judy Boyson, Amy Kaysen, Kerry Gibson, and Paula McAllister. From the Ryan School, Stephanie Barron, Lori Pereira, Maureen Castiglione, Carolyn Gaglione, Jen Griffin, Stephanie Kinnan, Scott Wallace, Carla Branchard, also representing the Wynn School, and Paige Impin, also representing the North Street School and the Wynn School. From the Wynn Middle School, Joy Beatrice, Barbara Fleming, Jen Castana, Sharon Pierce, Stacy Potito, Tim Trodden, and Letitia Wan. Madam Chair, you can imagine the strength of walking into a school building and beyond the teaching staff and beyond some of the other staff that are in the building to have this level of volunteers available and working with our students regularly certainly becomes an asset that is second to none. And we are very appreciative of all your work, and certainly you are what makes Tewksbury the town that it is, and we thank you very much.
Meetings or not, but we say it almost on a regular basis. We are so fortunate to get the volunteers and the support that we get from the community, from the parents, you know, whether it be fundraising, whether it be in the classroom helping the teachers out, you know, whether it be running different events for our schools. We really couldn't do a lot of what we do without you, and we truly appreciate it. And I know our staff feels the same way in all our buildings, our administration. So I hope you realize how truly valued you are, because it really takes a village, and without our packs, there would be so many things that we couldn't accomplish. So thank you very, very much, and I want to end on a note. We are gearing up for our new elementary project, for our new elementary building. Just so you know, we found a couple people to head it up, so you don't have to worry about always leading, because I know these are the people that always lead, and you're leading so many different projects, let alone taking care of your own families. But we found some true leaders that are willing to be the president and vice president and so forth like that. But anyone that wants to get involved, or the people that you talk with that want to get involved, start sending us the names, because we're going to start putting that group together. And we are going to gear up in the community, and we expect everyone's support for this new elementary building that we're hoping to have very soon, because our kids deserve it, our families deserve it, and Tewksbury deserves it. So let anybody know that wants to help. And again, thank you for everything that you do. We really, really appreciate it.
You ready?
So at this time, we're going to actually move right along as everybody's enjoying the celebration out in the hallway. At this time, I would like to give a warm welcome to Ms. Susanna Aguilar, who is with us tonight. She's representing Tewksbury High School, and she will give our Tewksbury High School report this evening. So welcome.
Good evening. I'm Susanna, and for school I have Thursday Theater Company and Thursday and Wednesday. And we'll continue with the Friday night show and the Sunday night. Tickets are $7 to students and $7 for ourselves. We would love to see everyone in attendance. Our student council, team and student council gifted our secretaries flowers and greeting cards for Secretary Day and are planning for the upcoming teacher appreciation. For DECA has taken on for the ICDC International For peer leadership, the peer leaders will be heading to the ride a few short weeks before the seniors graduate. And we'll be having our annual kickball union and popsicle party. For Santa time, we'll be walking in the bag, walk against drunk driving, and looking for volunteers. If anyone is interested, please contact Mr. Gillespie.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you here this evening, and we hope to see you in the future.
Thanks.
At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Malone for our presentation this evening.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have a couple of student handbook presentations, and first up, I would like the elementary school principal to please come up to present.
Good evening, Madam Chairperson and members of the committee. I am very proud to introduce the presentation of the elementary school handbook. I'd like to take this moment to talk about what an amazing elementary team of administrators I have the honor to work with. Very dynamic, collaborative, and as you know, we're unified in our efforts to provide consistency across the 4 elementary schools. I would also like to thank the school committee, superintendent, and assistant superintendent for supporting our work as well. And last but not least, I would be remiss if I did not praise the hard work and dedication of the teachers and staff of Tewksbury Public Schools. So without further ado, we're going to move on to our presentation, and tonight we're going to be capturing the changes made to the handbook.
As you knew, last year we worked diligently together as a team to bring all of our handbooks together into one K-4 elementary handbook. So we do have a few changes that we made after this past year. Mine is focused on actually traffic flow. So one update of the doing is that parents who drop off students in the morning will now be dropping off at the rear of the parking lot at the top of the ramp instead of the front corner on the cafeteria side of the building. So it's a traffic flow change.
All right, next is on page 13. Over the last couple of years, especially at the 3-4 level, we've noticed an uptick of not only those students having cell phones, but also bringing in some other electronic devices. We've had some students lose these devices at school, so we did want to make sure that we added a part that we're not just calling cell phones now, but also electronic devices. And just a reminder for our parents and students that cell phones should be turned off during the school day. And then also a reminder or a suggestion that other electronic devices should not be brought to school during the day, because we're very lucky at the elementary level to have some great technology and great devices right in our schools. So all of the devices that our students need are found right in the building. So we just wanted to add that part to our elementary school handbook.
As elementary principals, we have received input from our school improvement councils and from parents in particular with concerns around homework, especially homework assigned on weekends. So this reflects our listening to our councils, and without our input, we wouldn't have made this change. And it's important that families have time together on the weekends and not to be bogged down with homework. There are some exceptions. At times you'll see extended projects, for example, but we're really focusing in on that balanced time and quality family time together. And so that's reflected on pages 16 and 17.
And lastly, I want to talk a little bit about communicating our handbook with families. So we're going to do it two ways. One is to provide paper copies of handbooks to kindergarten, new kindergarten students to our schools, and first-time students, but would also like to go digital. So thanks to the help of Mara Rossio from Community Services Office, we're currently working with her to develop a website post that will have hyperlink table of contents so the families can access this online, and they'll also be able to do an electronic signature. So we're hoping we can reach more families that way.
That had been a suggestion of the committee last year.
And that concludes our presentation. Any questions or comments?
Thank you very much. I know that we all read this because I had lots of conversations with lots of my colleagues, and you continue to do great work. So at this time, I'm just going to open up and see if anyone has any comments regarding any of the changes. I know that we talked about there were a couple minor edits that I know that you were diligent enough to already do it. We didn't have an opportunity to look at, so we certainly appreciate that. But it was very thorough. We appreciate that. So at this time, I'd like to open up to my colleagues for any comments. Mr. Francis?
Thank you. I thought the presentation was good and the handbooks themselves. I really like the part where we have our school councils. That's what the school councils are there for, for input stuff and concerns by the parents, and to see some of the ideas that the school councils bring forward, I think is tremendous. I think that everyone goes to the role what a school council is all about, looking out for what's good and what changes we can make. And as a former parent who did drop-offs that they're doing, it is good to see that change. I think it's a long way to go. So I applaud that change that they're doing. And once again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Francis. Mrs. Bennett?
I'll echo Mr. Francis's comment. It is wonderful to see all four of you working together and having one handbook as opposed to four different ones. I think parents will appreciate that. I have to say, I love the no homework policy that you put in place. I think you have heard the parents as well as the school council come to a conclusion for that. I know I've heard it on the fields for many, so it's nice to see that implemented. I just have a couple of questions. I know you guys just gave us these edits and we'll go through them. If we see anything else, we'll reach out to you again. But I was wondering, I know we have pre-K students at the Heathbrook. And I noticed they're not on here. And I know they're through the community service part of it, but, are they also given the handbook as just guidelines? Or are they
Typically, no, but it's something we could certainly explore. Some of them do obviously join us at our schools, so it might be something to consider, absolutely.
Or maybe they're given a different handbook.
And there you go,
Okay.
and now we have community service extended day, because the extended day for preschool age students at the Heathbrook is different than our preschool at the Dewey. So all extended day students receive a handbook and actually a communication tool that they use for that.
Okay, is it updated, like you said?
No, it's probably a good idea that we have that presentation brought forward at some point when Mr. Lyons comes, to report on extended day.
And then I was just wondering if Mr. Pelletier has taken a look at the handbook as well.
We had Mr. Pelletier take a look at it last year, particularly in the areas of student support services, 504, the legislation, and making sure that we had correctly quoted the laws appropriately. And so we didn't have him redo it this year because we didn't make any changes to those particular sections.
Thank you. Thanks again for all your effort on this.
Thank you, Mrs. Bennett.
Just one
Mr.
question.
Chapman?
With the cell phones, I mean, what percentage of the kids in the elementary have cell phones?
More than you think. I mean, this is my third year, here at the Trahan, and I want to say it's probably doubled
Really?
in just the 3 years.
3 years.
Absolutely.
Is it a problem? I mean, or is it
I wouldn't say it's a problem. It's an issue. But we do have some cell phones that do go off during the school day where the students do forget to turn them off. It's a few times a month, and then, like I said, we do have some of the iPads starting to come in and some other devices where, it's a good idea for those to be left at home.
All right, thank you, but you address that on a regular basis.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cutlass. And I think the homework is beautiful. Really happy about that, and I know the community is too, so you should definitely advertise that, because that's the biggest complaint we get at the lower levels is being bombarded, as you have said, from parents on the weekend. So thank you for making that change, and more importantly, thank you for listening. Right, you listen to the families and the parents, and that's really great, so appreciate it. I thought it was great. So at this point, would someone like to make a motion to accept the handbook for the elementary schools?
I'll make that motion to accept the handbook for the 4 elementary schools.
So I have a motion, I have a second on the floor to approve the Tewksbury Public Schools Elementary Schools Pre-K through Grade 4 Student Handbook, Parent Information Guide for the school year 2017-2018. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well. Again, thank you for working so diligently and together, and this is wonderful. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, thanks, committee.
Madam Chair, for our next presentation, Ms. Vogel and her team, Dr. Osborne and Mrs. Stamp, they come up and present the high school.
Madam Chair, Dr. Wells, the EXO team is setting up. I just want to remind the committee that handbooks, student handbooks in particular, are a work in progress every year. They're very responsive to the changing program. We have at each of our schools to the needs of our parents and our students. And I want to thank the committee and the administrators for taking the time to really comb through all of the details, because as these live on year after year, sometimes things we find in the handbook are old, and we need to update them. And they may not come to our attention because we're paying attention to more issues that need more responding to immediately. So the high school as well has taken a look at many of, whether they're typographical errors or response to student advisory councils, teachers, and committee, and have given you a new edited version of many of those changes we talked about. So thank you
Appreciate
to.
it. So just for the public, we do our homework as school committee members. We do collaborate in anything that we see. If we think it's verbiage or typos, we do communicate that. And like I can honestly tell you, for the Tewksbury Memorial High School, many of those were just small, minor changes. They actually did an excellent job on this as well. And the things that the feedback we did give were minor changes that don't impact the actual policy within Tewksbury Memorial High School. So again, we got the edited copy. We'd be prepared as well this evening to vote in that handbook as well. But I guess at this point, we should really turn it over to the high school staff to review any changes to the handbook for the upcoming year.
Great. Good evening. Thanks for having us. So I wasn't going to go through every single change. I'm just going to highlight a couple of the bigger ones. So I'm just kind of going through the change memo. One of the things that we looked at that took us a little while was on the school calendar on page 9. We're moving from the 90 on a snow. If there's some snow and we have to have a delay, we're moving to a 2-hour next year. So we had to adjust that. So that took us a little bit of working and that. So, but we did change that, and that looks pretty good. Also, one of the big things on page 22, the grade conversion table. There was some, as we were reading through this, and it's been in there for a while. I'm not sure why we haven't noticed it, but we started reading through it, and it didn't make a lot of sense to us. So we tried to clarify. Basically, we had QPA and GPA. So basically, QPA is quality points. So the quality points, I'll just scroll to it here. So the quality points, so if a student receives an A+ in an unweighted course, they get 4 quality points. That's different than GPA. So QPA is different than GPA. GPA is calculated, and we put it down in the paragraph. You just take the number of quality points and you multiply it by the number of credits, and then you can average that out. So we just kind of clarified that. We started noticing that, when you looked at National Honor Society, it said you have to have so many quality points. That wasn't really true. It was GPA. So we just kind of cleared that up. So that's why we made those changes. A big, huge couple of paragraphs that we added on page 38 on student records. We had a student transfer and we had some questions to our attorney on some student records, and the attorney recommended that originally we had a link to the law for student records, and the attorney recommended that we actually just put the law right in the handbook, so that's why that's a pretty lengthy ad. The other big change that we made on page 46, we had a pretty big uptick in the use of vape cigarettes this year. We've actually had up to date, we have had 29 suspensions because of the vape cigarettes, and that's about 25% of our suspensions this year are because of the vape cigarettes. So what we did was we moved, and with these, I don't know if you guys know anything about these things. I learned a lot this year.
29 times.
29 times. They're electronic devices that take a liquid, an oil, and then vaporizes it, and then you inhale it. All right. Typically contains nicotine, can now contain the THC from marijuana. Some of them contain nothing, they're just an oil with a flavor. But because it could contain marijuana, we added that also to the drug alcohol policy. So that's why on page 46, that's what we did. We added those to the drug alcohol policy. So it may, depending on consequences, or depending on the circumstances, consequence might merit maybe a 5-day suspension if we suspect that we might have marijuana. The school resource officer has been working really closely with us, and he actually has test kits at the station, so we can send them out and have them tested to see if it actually has that. So those are kind of the big ones. Other than that, do you guys have any questions on any of the additions and changes?
Thank you, Mr. Stamp. I'll open it right up now. Does anyone have any questions or feedback for the high school staff at this time? Mrs. Bennett?
I'll just thank you, you and your staff for putting it together. I know it's a lengthy document, and I think I was talking to Mrs. Garish earlier. I know I read through it last time you guys came in, and I thought we went through it thoroughly, but I looked at it again, and it seemed like you find something new every single time. So I know it takes a lot of work and time, and thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Mrs. Bennett. Anybody else? Okay, not seeing anyone. I think actually we did such a thorough job on this last time. I really did feel like it was, it was great. Like Mrs. Bennett alluded to, there were certainly new things and things that we questioned, but I thought it's excellent. I think you really do a great job laying everything out for the families here, so there really should be very little questions. And we know everybody reads them thoroughly and signs off on them before the kids enter school, so there really should be no questions. But you guys did an excellent job. So at this time, could I have a motion to approve the high school handbook?
I'll make a motion to approve the high school handbook as presented.
A second.
So I have a motion, I have a second on the floor this evening to approve the Tewksbury Memorial High School student handbook for the 2017-2018 school year. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well, unanimous. Thank you again for a job well done.
Thank you. I just want to thank you for the time you spend really going through the document. Because as we go through it, we spend a lot of time, and as the year goes by, we make notes. Like I have a notepad, and I write down, oh yeah, on this page, change. Oh yes, there's this. But we miss stuff, so we do that, and then it's great to have the more eyes. It's really helpful.
We were very grateful as well.
Yeah, I know, it's very helpful. So I appreciate that. And I know that one thing, recently when you were going through and looking at the edits, that there was a question around school dances and, the language we have in there around senior prom versus the junior prom. Kids come to us every year since we moved to junior semi. But since we moved to the junior semi going off-site, and they have asked for outside guests, and we have said to them that, part of the agreement that was made for them to go outside of the school was that we would continue with the tradition that had always been in place, which was that it would be only guests from within Tewksbury Memorial High School. So that's why that has continued that way. However, the kids come and ask, and we talk about it. This year there was a young woman who asked. I sent her out. She did some research. She looked at what other high schools were doing. We will continue to do that. Next year, I think we'll sit down both the junior and the senior class officers and have them talk about it, and as well as I have a principals advisory council, as you know, and they like to spend time talking about and wrapping their brains around and doing more research on these types of topics. So, we will continue to do it. We've been talking about it. We talk about it every year. Been talking with kids about it, and we'll continue to do that.
We appreciate that, Mrs. Bobo. As you know, you always get honest feedback from this school committee, and we try to do it in the right manner, and have those discussions with our administration team and give that feedback back. I can tell you, since I've been on the committee for 8 years, it continues to come up each and every year. You've done a great job talking to parents and keeping it at bay. I think in the light that was a dance, it was at the high school, and it's really turned into a junior prom. And the kids do get dresses, and they do get tuxedos and so forth. So I would like to see surveys, I would like to see you reach out to the families and the students and see what it is that they want, and even do some data collection on how many seniors actually take advantage of that. Is it turning into everyone goes and brings someone outside, or is it really just the cases we field phone calls for, which is I've been dating so-and-so for a year and a half, and I really want to bring them to my junior prom. Because other surrounding schools around us do have junior proms. And whether we want to call it a dance or not, it really is a junior prom now that we've taken it out of the building. But you do seem to manage it really well. We're going to continue to send those phone calls to you, because we do get phone calls, and I did get several this year on it again. Last year I had a parent that called and was crying. So what we'll do is we'll send it to you and then you take care of it. We do always want to have that human element where we look at everything and we do say, what's really best for the kids? If you're only going to have one junior and one senior prom, can we address that and make sure that every kid has a great experience while they're in high school? We do appreciate you looking at these sensitive topics and sensitive issues, and we look forward to seeing what the future holds. So thank you very much for that. Does anyone else have any comments or feedback? All right, wonderful. Congratulations on your new headlock. Have a nice evening. So at this time, we're going to move right on to the citizens forum. Is there anyone in the audience this evening wishing to speak? Wonderful. Not seeing anyone, we can move right along. Again, we always encourage people with any feedback that they might have to follow our chain of command. We do want to hear from you, so you can always contact any of us with any questions or concerns you might have. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to our clerk, Mr. Sullivan, for the approval of our minutes.
Madam Chair, thank you. I'd like to move the April 5th, 2017 organizational meeting minutes.
I'll second it.
So I have a motion, I have a second on the floor for the April 5th, 2017 meeting minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well.
I'd also like to make a motion to approve the April 5th, 2017 regular meeting minutes.
I'll second.
I have a motion, I have a second on the floor to approve the April 5th, 2017 regular meeting minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well. Thank you, Mr. Sullivan, for the approval of minutes. I'd now like to ask Mr. Sullivan for a submission of payroll.
Sure, I'd like to move the school department payroll for the period ending April 6, 2017 to be approved and certified in the amounts and categories as shown for a total amount of $1,258,713.60.
Second.
So I have a motion, I have a second on the floor this evening to approve the payroll period ending April 6, 2017. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well.
I'd also like to move the school department payroll for the period ending April 20th, 2017 to be approved and certified in the amounts and categories as shown for a total amount of $1,239,174.82.
Second.
So I have a motion, I have a second on the floor to approve the payroll period ending April 20th, 2017. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well. Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. At this time, I would like to turn it over to our superintendent, Mr. Malone, for the superintendent and staff reports this evening.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, I'd like to acknowledge one of our principals that was presenting today in some of the words that Ms. Daisy Kimball demonstrated at the beginning of her presentation of thanks. A lot of that has to do with Ms. Kimball's had a great opportunity to take on a new position in the town of Drake as a principal in Drake. We wish her the best of luck. She's put in 9 great years here in Tewksbury. Certainly had a tremendous amount of success. Certainly built a culture at the North Street School as a true leader and she will be missed, but we're very excited for her. She's very excited, so it's a great opportunity for her. We will certainly be working with the North Street staff and the North Street parents to form a interview committee. We have posted the position as open, and we will be setting up that committee and likely be conducting interviews before the end of May. So we're looking forward to that opportunity. Thanks also to the townwide PAC, who we had the great opportunity to meet with on April 10th. The townwide PAC had also sought out information from the superintendent's office on the new building project, which is great. We love to see them eager and hungry for that information. So we had a great session with the townwide PAC and got some fantastic suggestions from the PAC leadership from multiple different schools, and had some great ideas brought across about how to message out what's going on with our new building project and how to get parents mobilized in the district. So it was a great opportunity. A couple informational notes, and I know Cindy had mentioned it a little bit, but the reminder of Footloose on April 27th, 29th. I've seen a few rehearsals. Challenge anyone to go and not tap their feet. It looks like it's going to be a great show. Scheduling reminders that May 4th is a half-day early release professional development for staff across the district. Also on May 4th, Tewksbury Rural High School will be conducting its college fair. And they have over 75 colleges RSVP to attend, so that'd be a great opportunity for our students. And the last day of school, June 21st, will be a half-day early release as well. And certainly those schedules will be posted. That's all I have from the superintendent's report. I'll hand it over now to Ms. Reed.
Thank you. And the first of my updates includes next Thursday, May 4th, being our last early release half-day teacher workshop day. We have a foot in the old, a foot in the new, meaning that half of our staff will be focused on district-wide implementations. Grades 5 to 12 will be working on their final installment of PD on Mastery Connect for the year. Grades K through 6 will be working in their Journeys implementation. However, at our Heathbrook and Newton School, they will be focused on new science standards, looking at the units that science, cross-district science mapping team has put together for kindergarten to grade 2. And our math coaching team will be meeting with the K through 2 teachers, the PK through 2 teachers at the Dewey School to help them put together centers for math fluency for those students. Our special ed team will be working on transitional consistencies and transitioning students from each of our schools to the next. So it should be a great half day. Spring also marks the planning as we lead our professional development program for one school year. Spring marks our planning for the next school year. Today, I had the benefit of working with our Teacher Advisory Council, which is comprised of representative teachers of all schools as well as principals. They helped me edit and update the annual staff professional development survey. If you remember, we provide, as part of every form, we're required to provide professional development for teacher certification for improving professional practice and student learning. We look at 3 key areas, obviously district goals, district implementation, what's needed for learning in that area. 2, after all of the evaluations are done on our faculty, what were the biggest areas of needed improvement? And then 3, what are our teachers looking for to improve their practice? So that annual staff survey is what gives us a really good insight on that. So we appreciate the time that our Teacher Advisory Council spent helping us with that information. And then finally, you may have seen in your Tewksbury Public School email today that I shared with you the Google end-of-year calendar. Thank you to Mrs. Johnson and our principals and our school secretaries. We've compiled one Google calendar for you so that you can keep apprised of all of the end-of-the-year events at each of the schools. So I invite you to call on me if you need any help accessing that calendar and knowing how to maneuver it. I will be happy to work with you one-on-one or as a small group over at the center school and help you maneuver that calendar. That concludes my update.
Thanks, Mr. Reed. Okay, moving right along to the consent agenda. Before we make a motion, are there any questions or comments on the consent agenda? Mrs. Bennett?
Just one. You have the mosquito room, Madam Chair, to Mr. Malone and Mrs. Reagan. You have the mosquito control project in there. Are we participating in that? I saw the memo, but it didn't say whether we were going to.
The Heathbrook School has a contract with them, which includes a presentation, approximately 50 minutes long. It comes in with a PowerPoint presentation, but it also gives some information on the life cycle of the mosquito, targeted to more second grade level. But it's a great opportunity for our students, and we'll see how it goes at the Heathbrook, and if we have success there, then certainly it's something we'll do.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions or concerns? And if not, may I have a motion?
I make a motion to accept tonight's consent agenda.
Second.
So I have a motion, I have a second on the floor to accept tonight's consent agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well. Okay, moving on to committee reports. So the elementary school building committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As Mr. Malone said, it was great doing a presentation for our PAC, townwide PAC. And the excitement that they showed was tremendous. As we move forward, we need as much excitement as we can. This was a exciting 10 days for the ESBC. We had 10 applicants for the position of owner project manager for the elementary school building project. And we narrowed that field down to 4 applicants, which we will interview over the next 2 weeks. A special thanks should go out to everybody on the elementary school building committee for putting in great time and effort to analyze everybody's application. When I say analyze, it was analyzed and dissected everybody's application. So it was great to do that. And this is really, in the time, exciting. This is at the early stages, one of the most important decisions that this committee is going to make. Because basically, we're putting the project in this firm's hands. So we're excited. I know everybody on the committee is excited. And as we continue to move forward, we want to be as open as we can and keep the community informed. So one of the things that we're going to do is, once our OPM is named, we will bring that person here to address the school committee in the town, and also reach out to the Board of Selectmen also to bring over to the Board of Selectmen's meeting, and keep him very focal and very out there to help out with the dissemination of information. But it is really getting excited, and I know that the committee as a whole can't wait to do those interviews and name our person. That's what I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Is there anything to add, Mr. Bennett?
No, that was pretty thorough.
Okay, wonderful. Over to you, Mrs. Bennett, for the Tewksbury Education Foundation.
Currently, the TEF is asking parents to honor school staff members through their staff recognition program. An email was sent out through community service, and it can also be found on their website. The TEF will be holding their annual spelling bee on June 5th and 6th. The TEF is also in the process of organizing their end-of-year family day at Canby Lake Park. More to come on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Bennett. And then wellness?
Just a quick couple of items coming up for the community. There is a drug take back, which will be held this Saturday, April 29th, from 10 to 2 p.m. at the police station. And also the annual flag safety rodeo will be held June 4th at the high school. And the next wellness committee meeting will be held on May 15th at 3 o'clock here at the high school. And the entire community is welcome to attend as always. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mrs. Bennett. Okay, moving right along, there are no policies this evening. We're going to go right into old business. The first item is the 2017 town warrant articles. We'd like to just take a few minutes this evening to pull out the school-related warrant articles for the public, and then also take a vote on a show of support for these articles moving forward to next week's town meeting. So the first article for the schools is Article 4, which is the overall fiscal year 2018 budget. The next article will be Article 9, Article 9 has a transfer of money from the stabilization fund of $391,564 to go to the school department for the following items: a doing room, B9 abatement and air monitoring, $15,000, and elementary parking lot repairs for $35,000, roof repairs, maintenance garage for $10,000, district-wide utility vehicles for $39,100, landscape trail for $6,500, refrigerated vehicle that will go between our buildings for food, to help food services for $36,000, North Street heating, exchange coils $13,225, North Street boiler $161,739, district security $50,000, and elementary visit security system for $25,000. So overall, that article would be a transfer of $391,564 to the schools. Next article would be Article 10. Article 10 has to do with Doucette Field. As many of you know, we have had some problems with our bleachers at Doucette, and they need to be repaired. So this actually is a transfer of money from the stabilization fund in the amount of $850,000. Not only will we be doing the Doucette Field bleachers, they also plan on doing a press box, updating the restrooms, do some site work, fencing, and including in the demolition. So that's why the ticket item is $850,000 for that item. Next article is Article 11. Not Article 11, I apologize for that. Next article is Article 14, and that has to do with our tax relief program. And that's something that, as you saw tonight, we just honored a whole bunch of seniors that work within our schools. So we'd like everyone to support that transfer of the $25,000 to continue to support that program. The next article would be Article 18, which isn't per se, this is not an article that impacts the schools directly. However, we felt strongly about coming out and supporting this to the community because it has to do with the fields at Fresca Fields for soccer. It really does impact all the children in this town. And we really are about the kids on the school committee, so we'd also like to openly support Article 18. Again, that's $115,000 to replace all the fencing at Fresca Fields. Next article would be Article 20. And Article 20 has to do with the Ella Fleming School. They're asking for $50,000 to hire a consultant to review to see what really needs to be done, kind of come in and do a whole design and consultation for that building. So again, we're going to support that. And it kind of goes hand in hand with the last article, which is Article 25, which has to do with taking the responsibility. It's actually the ownership, the care, the custody, the management, the control of the Ella Fleming School and handing that over to the town and the Board of Selectmen. So currently right now the school department is responsible for that building, and there could be some nice future use for that. So there is an article in there that will turn the control over to the Board of Selectmen. So with that being said, we have several articles this evening that do impact the schools. What I'd like to do, as we just explained it, I'd like to go through each article, just the name, and then we will take a show of support on this committee. So the first up I have is Article 4. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well. Next is Article 9, which has to do with the stabilization funds for all the equipment and facility improvements for the school department. All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Article 10. Article 10 is the transfer of the $394,500 from the stabilization for new vehicles and so forth. We'll take a roll call vote with the large number on this one. So Mr. Sullivan, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Francis?
Aye.
Mr. Cutlass?
Aye.
Mrs. Bennett? Aye. Chair votes aye as well. Article 10 is Doucette Field, the $850,000. Mr. Sullivan, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Francis?
Aye.
Mr. Cutlass?
Aye.
Mrs. Bennett?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Article 14, which is the $25,000 for the tax relief program. Mr. Sullivan?
Aye.
Mr. Francis?
Aye.
Mr. Cutlass?
Aye.
Mrs. Bennett?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next article is Article 18, which is for Frasca Fields, the refencing of all the fences down there for $115,000. Mr. Sullivan?
Aye.
Mr. Francis?
Aye.
Mr. Cutlass?
Aye.
Mrs. Bennett?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Article 20, which has to do with hiring the consultant for the Ella Fleming School. Mr. Sullivan?
Aye.
Mr. Francis?
Aye.
Mr. Cutlass?
Aye.
Mrs. Bennett?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. And last but not least is turning over the control of the Ella Fleming School to the Board of Selectmen. Article 25, Mr. Sullivan?
Aye.
Mr. Francis? Mr. Cutlass?
Aye.
Mrs. Bennett?
Aye.
And chair votes aye as well. So again, those are the warrant articles for the upcoming town meeting, which is scheduled for next week. And we hope to see everyone there and get out and support not only the schools, but also the town. We hope to see everybody there and have a great turnout.
Madam Chair, could I just ask, I attended the selectmen meeting last night. They also unanimously voted to make a recommendation to endorse all of those articles as well, so.
Okay, that's wonderful, that's great. Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. That's wonderful. Okay, so moving right along, we have the revised budget for the 2018 school budget. Sending that over to you, Mr. Malone, for the changes for that revised budget.
Madam Chair, we were informed by the town, and after a meeting over at Shawshene Tech, the assessment for Shawshene Tech actually came in lower than was budgeted for. And that really has to do with the number of students that were budgeted by the town to attend Shawshene Tech, and the number was less. Therefore, that would be an additional $48,253 in the FY18 budget.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Knoll. Does anyone have any questions or concerns with the change in the budget, other than what are we going to do with that $48,000?
So, Madam Chair, one of the things we're looking at is some of those with our, although we're talking a lot about the new building project, our costs to maintain the existing buildings continue to rise. So those contracted services, plumbing, electrical, all those issues that are going on, we're moving that money into that line item to cover the contracted services for maintenance of the buildings.
Okay, wonderful, that's actually great. Yes, Mr. Francis?
Thank you. Being a long-term member of this committee, as many of us are, is I think it only goes to show to what a great job that is being done in our middle school and our high school, and facility and things for the great programs we have over here. In terms of the students that decide, not just with Shaw Tech, but even with some of the other schools, to stay in the system all the way right through high school. So I think that that's a great way that everybody in the administration, and especially in the middle school and high school, convey that message to the parents.
Thank you, Mr. Francis. Would anyone like to say anything, Mrs. Bennett?
I'd also like to thank the town manager as well as the selectmen for allowing us to keep that additional fund and put it towards maintenance, which, like you said, Ms. Campbell, is definitely needed for our other schools.
Thank you, Mrs. Bennett. So without anything else, would someone like to make a motion to approve the new budget with the new dollar amount?
I'll make a motion to approve the new budget, the revised budget of $58,102,582.
Okay, so I have a motion, I have a second on the floor to approve of the FY18 Tewksbury Schools budget of $58,102,582. This does require a roll call vote. Mr. Sullivan, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Francis, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Cutlass, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mrs. Bennett, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye as well. Again, a special thank you to all those people involved in putting the budget together, not only our administration team, but also our town manager, our board of selectmen, and our finance committee. I feel really good about the way we've gone the last 5 or so years. They continue to show that education is a priority here in Tewksbury, and we're so appreciative and grateful for the continued support that we get from our colleagues on other boards here in town. So I'm very happy with this budget, and we're going to do a lot of great things and keep moving the schools forward, so thank you for that. Okay, moving right along, our next is our new assignments for, as every year, we put them into the record. What we did, so everybody knows the exercise that we follow as we have a reorganization and as we have new school committee members join us. Everyone has the opportunity to say what their interests may be, and what we try to do is give everyone an opportunity to work on things that they would enjoy, because we all know we have different passions here. So what we do is we say that everyone gives me an idea on the different things, being the chair, what they'd like, and we kind of divide the workload. Again, new things will come up throughout the year, and we'll continue to assign people to those. So for the 2017 2018 assignments, we have the following. We will be starting, believe it or not, collective bargaining before we know it. And so for custodians, it'll be Mr. Dennis Francis and Mr. Keith Sullivan. For educational support personnel, will be Mrs. Arthur Bennett and Mr. Keith Sullivan. Food service will be Mrs. Arthur Bennett and Mr. Dennis Francis. Non-union personnel will be Mr. Jamie Cutlass and Mrs. Chrissy Palomino. Nurses will be Mrs. Arthur Bennett and Mr. Dennis Francis. Secretaries will be Mr. Dennis Francis and Mr. Keith Sullivan. TAG will be Mr. Jamie Cutlass and Mrs. Chrissy Palomino. TTA will be Mr. Jamie Cutlass and Mrs. Chrissy Palomino. As far as the different committees that we have, district-wide security will be Jamie Cutlass and Chrissy Palomino. Elementary School Building Committee, as everyone knows, those were actually positions that were voted in. It's Mr. Jamie Cutlass and Mr. Dennis Francis. High School Building Committee should at some point be going away, but we still have those because it is active until that's disbanded, is Mr. Jamie Cutlass and Mr. Dennis Francis. Policy Review Team will be Mrs. Arthur Bennett and Mrs. Chrissy Palomino. Church for Education Foundation will be Mrs. Arthur Bennett, and the Wellness Advisory Committee will be Mr. Keith Sullivan. So as always, if someone cannot make a meeting, I encourage my colleagues again, if there's something that comes up where you're not able to attend, please reach out to myself and other colleagues and make sure that we always have somebody representing all of our committees at all times. I know we've done a great job in the past, and I hope to continue that, and it gives other people an opportunity to do the great work that we do here on these different committees as we move forward, doing the good work for the schools. So with that being said, I'll turn it over to you for the Next Generation MCAS update.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am very well, superintendent and myself, as well as principals and teachers, are very, very happy to tell you that we have successfully online tested ELA MCAS at grades 5, 6, grade 7, today, day 1 of grade 4, and tomorrow will be what we know, the first online testing successful day for grade 8. So let me just say, April marks the ELA MCAS testing for all grade levels. We will be finishing up by the end of this Friday with all grade levels, as I said. And again, the online testing has gone very successful. Our teachers are feeling very proud, very, very proud. In fact, one of them said to me, I feel like I've been training for a marathon. I've been getting these kids ready, how to use these devices, how to test, and today she felt like $1 million because she was able to do it and felt really confident in our students. She also reported, and we've seen, that students are taking their time, a little different than last year. Last year we saw students racing through the test. This year, and I believe because of the long-term planning we've done with the MCAS planning team, with teachers, the training, students are really taking their time. They're using the skills and the strategies for taking such a long, comprehensive test online, and then taking those strategies, that test seriously in the computer. So we're hoping that that parlays into really great scores for our students. Next week marks the beginning of our math MCAS for grades 5, 6. The following week, math for 7, 8. And then before we end out May, we'll have science grade 5 mandate in math in grade 10. Those 3 tests remain period tests. Early June, grade 9 science MCAS tests will continue. So one update in Next Generation MCAS testing, which isn't really so much as an update but a review, is the administration of student feedback and questionnaire. So I gave you some of the frequently asked questions around why do they give questionnaires at the end of some of these MCAS tests. And if you notice that the tests that have been providing that questionnaire in the past were grades 8 and 10. There are also the science, technology, engineering test, which is one of the last tests given for grade 8. And again, the last test given in high school is the, in grade 10 is the math MCAS. What DESE is including this year will be a questionnaire at the end of the 5th grade science, technology, and engineering test. That's, as I said, the last test grade 5 takes. Really the goal of the questionnaire is to gain some insight into school climate and culture, especially around 3 key areas: engagement, safety, and the environment of the school. Other areas that DESE is looking to gather some information are around using technology in the learning process, homework, which we heard, we really need some feedback from students on what homework looks like in the year 2017. And then for grade 10, they continue to ask questions around plans after high school. We're really hopeful that the answers don't affect any student's MCAS test score. These are simply how they feel about learning, how they feel about safety in the school environment and using technology at school. We're hoping that information is shared with the district to really help us improve learning for all students. So I wanted to give you these frequently asked questions and let you know that this is a common practice. And with the addition of grade 5 and the addition of some further questions around social emotional learning, it's a little bit new for us. I look forward to giving you any feedback we get from the state if they share the results of the student questionnaire.
Thank you, Mrs. Regan. Does anyone have any questions or concerns with the testing? Okay.
I just have one question. Will the results come quicker now that they're doing it online?
Yes and no. So if you've been watching the change and evolution of MCAS and PARC testing before and MCAS testing now, and basically just the onset of online testing, the goal is to have real-time data, quicker scores. But because now we moved from highly PARC for 2 years to now the new next generation MCAS, this first year will be a year where they calibrate old MCAS data with new MCAS data. So it'll take a little longer. It'll probably take this year for us to see, we'll probably maintain the same timeline. I think one of the prior communications I shared with you, we expect to get the multiple choice, some of that online testing data by June, but the written response and that data we won't see until the fall, per usual. In the next few years, we expect that data will come to us prior to ending the school year. All of it, that's our goal.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, moving right along on a new business, the superintendent evaluation timeline. We wanted to lay out the timeline for the community. Can you believe it? Mr. Malone has been here 10 months already, so we're already talking about evaluation time. So just to kind of let the public know, on May 3rd, Mr. Malone will be distributing all the evaluation documents to all the school committee members. On May 12th, he will then be distributing his review of progress of goals and his self-assessment. Between May 12th and May 31st, this is when all the different school committee members have the opportunity to meet with him to review any of his goal or his self-assessment data and ask any questions that they might have. On June 5th, all the school committee members will be submitting their individual evaluations of Mr. Malone to the chairperson for analysis. And as always, the chairperson will look at everything and review the data and summarize for the final superintendent evaluation report, which we will be delivering on June 14th at our school committee meeting, both a written and oral summary of his evaluation in a public session. So as always, we just like to put that time frame out for the public to know, also for the school committee members as well as Mr. Malone. Does anyone have any questions or concerns on that timetable for my colleagues up here, or even for you, Mr. Malone? Okay. We're looking forward to working on that over the next couple months. So moving right along to the wind trip. So we have in front of us the Wynn Middle School, Washington, D.C. trip for, believe it or not, June of 2018. So I want to turn it over to Mr. Malone if you had any comments.
Thank you, Madam Chair. They're looking for approval for overnight out-of-state trip, once again to Washington, D.C. That trip is set to go off for this school year in June, and they're looking for approval for next year in June. They've offered a couple of flexible dates along with a tentative schedule while in Washington, D.C. One of the things they're citing is a new regulatory piece out of the United States Department of Transportation regarding travel overnight, in other words, on the road overnight, not sleeping overnight in a location, but when a bus travel would leave and take place during the city travel, which appears to be a little bit of a change, and that's why they've offered up a couple of options. I did talk to the building principal, Mr. Ware, as well, and certainly he would want to coordinate actual dates with other events going on in early June, such as graduation, other activities like that, which can be difficult for parents to coordinate because at the middle school level, sending off a child on a trip of that length or wanting to chaperone on a trip of that length certainly is a significant commitment, but that's intersecting with some end of high school activities, which are very important for families as well. So they've given a couple different date ranges and given a couple different options as far as 2 days out of school or 3 days out of school, depending on any direction that the committee prefers.
I, for one, can say that these trips are absolutely fabulous for our students. We've received nothing but positive feedback from our students and our families. So we wholeheartedly support these type of opportunities for our students. At this point, I would feel comfortable putting it back in the hands of our building principal just to coordinate the dates. And I appreciate him listening because I know we used to do it during April vacation, so it's excellent again to hear. It seems like the theme for this evening, that we're really listening to the feedback we're receiving from our families and from our students. And to make this adjustment and have the trip even this year and next year in June, I think it's really terrific. It goes to show how much we continue to work with the community and our families and students out there. So I don't know if anyone else has any questions or concerns. I think it's absolutely wonderful. Does anyone have any comments? I feel very comfortable with Mr. Ware making the decision on his own, based on you said he was going to look at conflict dates and do the very best he can for his families and students. So with that being said, would someone like to make a motion to support this 2018 Washington DC trip?
I'll make a motion to support the 2018 Washington DC trip.
I'll second.
So I have a motion, I have a second on the floor to approve the trip for our WIN students to go to Washington DC in June of 2018 for 8th graders. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well. Thank you. Okay, moving right along to school committee matters of interest. We're going to start with you this evening, Mrs. Bennett. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Bennett. Mr. Cutlass?
I'll second, Madam Chair, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Francis?
Thank you. I have one item tonight. I'm proud to announce that just about all the details have been finalized for the head dedication of the turf field at Tewksbury Memorial High School. Tentatively, it's set up for Wednesday, May 24th. There'll be a reception in LG 1 from 4 to 5, with the dedication following immediately at 5:15 on the field itself. We're just in the process now of finalizing all the details, and at our next meeting before I will get more into depth on the scope of the day. It's going to be a great day for the evening. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Francis. If everyone wants to jot down that idea, I think it would be great if we could all be present for that. That would be wonderful. Mr. Sullivan?
I would just like to thank yourself and Mrs. Bennett for inviting me down to the Massachusetts Association of School Committees Day on the Hill. It was a wonderful day. We had two very bright, intelligent young high school students join us. It was fantastic to learn a little bit about the Chapter 70 funding and just how underfunded the schools are. I really am excited about working with our state delegation. It was great to see Senator Locali down there. I think it was great for us to meet with them, Jim Maselli as well. And, I thought it was just a very positive experience for those students, and it was a great day. So I appreciate you inviting me and bringing me along. Thanks again.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. And just to echo on that, as you took the words right out of my mouth, I wanted to say a special thank you to Colin McKnight and May Monahan. Those were the two junior students here at Tewksbury High School that accompanied Mr. Sullivan, myself, and Mrs. Bennett. We had a wonderful day, not only learning about the challenges that schools face with all the regulations and so forth, but the things that we're looking down the pipeline. We had very intelligent conversations with these two individuals. They were very articulate. They were very intelligent. They really represented Tewksbury quite well. We received many compliments about them. And then also just to say, them meeting with our legislators and saying that they're going to vote, and we had great conversations, even about the new elementary school. Again, I'll go back to that. you know, and then how important it is for them to register to vote so that they can support that new endeavor here in Tewksbury. But again, I would like to thank Mrs. Vogel and our administration team for giving the approval of sending our Tewksbury Memorial High Schools to the Day on the Hill. I think it was great, and I hope it's a new tradition that we start, and that every year we bring some high school students down there, because I really thought it was valuable. So again, thank you again for allowing that. That was wonderful. That's all I have. Future meetings are, we have our annual town meeting on May 1st. And again, we encourage everyone to come. There are important issues, important warrant articles, not only for the schools, but for the town. And the more people that come out and vote and support us, we can continue to move our schools forward. So we hope to see everyone on May 1st at the town meeting, which is held right here at Tewksbury Memorial High School. And then again, it's followed up by the special town meeting, which is held on May 3rd. Our next regular school committee meeting is May 10th. We'll be back, and we look forward to sharing more information with you at that time. At this time, does anyone have any future agenda items? Okay, as always, if you have any, please feel free to send those to us. We can get those to our superintendent, Mr. Malone. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
So I have a motion, I have a second on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well. Have a great night, everyone, and we look forward to seeing everyone at our annual town meeting. Thank you.